So it's official. The LA Clippers are trading James Harden to the Cleveland Cavaliers for Darius Garland and a second round pick. Now, obviously, we know Chris Mannix broke the story, and when the news broke that Cleveland and LA were in talks to, working on a trade for James Harden, it was inevitable because if there's anything we know about James Harden, right, it's that if he wants out of a situation, he's going to request a trade. If the situation doesn't perfectly align to James Harden's wants, he's going to leave. And this is another example of him, like literally the news broke 24 hours ago and we're here, right? Now, if you look at the deal as a whole, right, you have the LA Clippers and the Cleveland Cavaliers, who are both teams that are trying to compete for championships and a championship in their respective conferences. And this is basically an all-star guard being swapped for another all-star guard, right? All-star caliber guard for another all-star caliber guard, right? Now, if you look at the Cleveland Cavaliers, right, if you look at it from like a veteran experience standpoint, they're getting a guy in James Harden who, granted he's older, but he's more experienced and he's a floor general. Now, not respecting Darius Garland, but he, in my opinion, is a poor man's Donovan Mitchell. Like him and Donovan Mitchell are the same player, but Donovan Mitchell is better, more athletic, right? Can do a bit more things. I think he's a better shooter as well. And I feel like Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell's games clashed. And honestly, I felt like they basically plateaued. Like this is their ceiling. They weren't going to win a championship. I don't think a duo of a backcourt of Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell was doing anything. Granted, the Eastern Conference is at its weakest, right? Jason Tatum down, Tyrese Halliburton down. And, yeah. Now, if you look at the Clippers, they obviously get a younger guard in Darius Garland who can help them now and in the future. So I think it's a win-win for both sides. This is like a very sort of, I don't think I've seen a trade like this, right? Where it's trading a guard for another guard, right? This is an even swap in my opinion. But I want to pivot to a quote from Joey Lynn, where it says, here we go, James Harden, right? This is a little over a year ago, right? Where Harden was asked if he wants to finish his career with the Clippers. And he says, quote, "That was the whole point, man. I thought the same thing with the last team I was on." He was talking about the Sixers, I believe. "That's why I made all those sacrifices. I'm here. I'm home. I want to be able to keep a core together for a few years. Things are going well, and I'm happy." This is a little over a year ago, guys. And all of a sudden, it's clear he wasn't happy. And we're going to get into the article. I actually have an article where we're going to actually break down the whole situation. But this is James Harden, guys. 5 teams in 5 years, right? Yeah, the Houston Rockets requested a trade to the Nets, I believe. Then from the Nets, he went to the Sixers. From the Sixers, he went to the Clippers. And now he's with Cleveland. Right? So there's that. But on to the article, right? Where it says the LA Clippers are trading 11-time All-Star guard James Harden to the Cleveland Cavaliers for guard Darius Garland and a second-round pick. Now it says here, Harden effectively had veto power over any trade because of the unique nature of his contract. He worked through his exit with the Clippers, who are 23 and 26 over the past few days, resulting in an outcome both sides were happy with. A win-now opportunity for Harden, who is playing at a high level at age 36, and for the Clippers, a 2-time All-Star and Garland, who at age 26 can help them now and in the future. For the Cavaliers, the addition of Harden has the potential to elevate the team's ceiling as it continues to contend for an Eastern Conference title. It aligns two high-powered, multifaceted engines in Harden and Donovan Mitchell, who are two of the only 10 qualified players in the NBA, averaging 25 points and 5 assists this season, and are now the only teammates among that group, according to ESPN research. And like I said, man, the thing with Harden is that Harden can now take on the full floor general role, and Donovan Mitchell can effectively get buckets. Now, the good thing about this trade is that, let's say that Donovan Mitchell has an off night, James Harden can give you 25 as well, right? Like, he can give you 10 assists and still score 25 points a game. I think he's averaging 25 points a game this season. So that's the thing. That's the difference. The difference between him and Darius Garland is that James Harden can affect the game, and this is no disrespect to Darius Garland, but he can affect the game, in my opinion, in more ways as far as being a floor general, right? Darius Garland isn't looked at as a floor general, and that's why I think this is a great trade, albeit James Harden is an aging star, right? Now it says here, Garland is in the third year of a 5-year, $197 million contract. Harden is making $39.3 million this season, with $13.8 million of his $49.2 million salary for next season guaranteed. Now, here's the kicker, guys, because the reason Harden basically requested this trade was for money. So, and we're gonna find out right here. It says Harden had sought more security in negotiations with the Clippers over the summer after a solid season in which he was named third team all NBA, but LA declined to offer him a longer term deal because of his age and an organizational prioritization of long term flexibility. Fellow superstar Kawhi Leonard has just 1 year remaining on his contract after this year's. And this is another reason why Paul George left, because Paul George is looking to get a longer contract, but they were like, no, I guess they wanted their three older stars to be on the same timeline and, for the future, I guess they're building for the future. But it says, as talks with the Cavaliers intensified over the past week, Harden sat out Sunday's game in Phoenix and Monday's game against the Philadelphia 76ers with what the team called personal reasons. We now know that it's because of this. They were working on a trade. Now, Clippers coach Tyronn Lue said before the game that Harden was at his home in Phoenix. The Cavaliers coincidentally played the Clippers on Wednesday night at Intuit Dome, and yada, 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 yada. Over the past 24 hours, as the trade materialized, the Cavaliers are also win the NBA title move from 22 to 12. Now, I'm not going to lie to you guys, so I'm not going to get all deep into the article, but I'll say this. The Cleveland Cavaliers have definitely gotten better, and I think they're, at worst, top 3 in the East. They're definitely legit. Now, they were sort of kind of legit in a way contenders. I think they're 5th in the East or whatever, 6th, but they're a middle of the pack team. But I think with the addition of Harden, they are now legitimate title contenders, like up there with, the Knicks and the Detroit Pistons of the world, right? Boston to an extent as well. Boston is, let me not disrespect Boston. Boston to an extent, because Jaylen Brown, we got to give him respect. But legit title contenders, and yeah, man. But like I said, man, I'm gonna end the video with this hit piece, because this reporter, I don't remember his name. I wish I could say his name. I remember his name, but he came out and he's looking pretty good on this day. We're gonna end the video with this, guys. Check this out.
And it didn't work. And you know what? You said ask the producer to pipe this into the Clippers locker room so I can talk to you, James. I hope you're taking notes. I'm telling you in advance, you're welcome for the wisdom I'm about to spew. Because listen, I get on my knees every night and pray for someone to believe in me like Daryl Morey believed in you. You wanted a certain coach, they brought in Mike D'Antoni. You want to play a certain style, they played it. You wanted Dwight Howard, they brought him in and got rid of him when you were tired of him. You wanted Chris Paul, they brought him in and got rid of him when you were tired of him. They brought in your old friend Russell Westbrook. You want to go to Vegas on off days? They looked away. You wanted the team to stay over so you could go out at night. They changed the schedule, and it didn't work. And you know what? You said, I'm going to break up with my whoopee. Not good enough. I see the bright lights in New York. I want to go there. My old pal, Kevin Durant. It's going to work. The big 3. And all after 1 year, you wanted out. You realized, oh my gosh, I took this guy for granted, the guy that believed in me. I went back with Daryl Morey. They traded Ben Simmons for you. How did they pull that off? And you know what? You went there and you got a partner.
Yeah, so listen, James Harden, man, like, if it doesn't work with the Cavaliers, man, at this point, I don't know. I really don't know, but it's official, guys. James Harden is officially a Cleveland Cavalier. Darius Garland is an LA Clipper. Let me know what you guys think about this topic. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the comments. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.